All right, so uh, you sent this review of the iPhone 16 Pro,
Mm,
and um, people are always kind of curious: is it really worth all the hype?
yeah,
Yeah, especially compared to the Pro Max and not just the standard iPhone 16.
right.
Um, this all comes from a deep dive review from SourceName.
Yeah, they seem to have done a really good job with this one. It's very thorough.
Yeah, one of the things that jumped out to me right away was just the size.
Uh,
The iPhone 16 Pro now has all the same features of the Pro Max, but in a smaller body.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of a game changer, right?
Yeah, especially for people who, want all that horsepower, but they don't want to feel like they're carrying around a tablet.
Right, like, it's like having a mobile editing studio
Exactly.
right in your pocket. You could
Oh,
be editing, you know, professional grade videos on the go.
yeah, and I think it's worth noting that this is not just an Apple thing. This is a trend we're seeing across the tech world.
Oh, just
More and more power in smaller and smaller devices.
it really makes you wonder, like, what does that mean for the future
Yeah,
of everything? Will laptops and tablets become obsolete,
right.
or will they adapt and evolve alongside these super powerful smartphones?
Yeah, it's a really fascinating question.
It is. It's exciting to think about.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But for now, let's maybe bring it back to the iPhone 16 Pro.
Okay.
The review mentions some really interesting design changes.
Oh, yeah. I noticed they made the body a little bit bigger than the 15 Pro,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought back the action button,
Yeah.
and there's that new camera control key.
Yeah, I think those are really smart additions, that action button. It's like having customizable shortcuts right there at your fingertips.
Right.
And the camera control key, it's like it just streamlines taking photos and videos, makes it so much easier.
Yeah, especially like those quick, spur of the moment things you want to capture.
Absolutely.
Oh, and speaking of capturing moments, the display is now 6.3 inches.
Wow.
With this thing called promotion, it refreshes up to 120 times per second.
So that means it's ultra smooth.
Yeah, everything looks super smooth and responsive. I
Oh,
mean, imagine
gotta be amazing.
scrolling through your social media,
Yeah.
playing games,
Mm.
even just navigating, the menus.
It's also fluid.
It's got to be so fluid.
Yeah.
Now, 6.3 inches is still smaller than that. The Pro Max is 6.9-inch behemoth.
Right.
But it is a step up from the standard iPhone 16, which is just 6.1 inches.
Yeah.
So you're getting more screen real estate without sacrificing that comfortable grip.
I mean, you've got to find that sweet spot, right? Between, having all the functionality and still being able to use it comfortably.
Right, you don't want it to feel like a tablet in your hand.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so under the hood, we've got the A18 Pro chip,
Oh yeah, this thing's a beast.
and the review said it just aced all the benchmark tests.
Yeah, those benchmark tests are like standardized performance exams for phones,
Exactly.
and it passed with flying colors.
Yeah, it's really impressive what that means for the user experience, though, is that everything's just so much smoother.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine editing 4K video, playing a game, a graphics intensive game, having tons of apps open in the background.
And no lag.
No lag, no stuttering. It just handles everything so smoothly.
It's all thanks to that A18 Pro chip.
Yeah, they really designed it to be a workhorse.
Right, like no more waiting for, apps to load or videos to render.
Exactly. It's just there. It's ready to go when you.
But first, we have to talk about battery life.
Yeah.
The review said that they've made improvements compared to the 15 Pro,
Mhm.
but it still can't quite match the Pro Max's legendary endurance.
I guess you can't have it all, right?
Right. But one thing I thought was interesting was that even though the iPhone 16 Pro has a smaller battery than some of its Android rivals,
Yeah.
it actually outperforms them in battery life tests.
Yeah, that really stood out to me too.
How is that even possible?
It really speaks to how well Apple integrates their hardware and software.
Yeah.
They've just optimized everything to work together so seamlessly that they can really squeeze every bit of efficiency out of that battery.
That's pretty remarkable.
It is. It's a testament to their commitment to, that premium user experience.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk cameras.
Okay.
This is always a big deal with new iPhones.
Yeah, for sure.
And this time they've brought back a dedicated camera button.
That's right.
They're calling it the camera control,
Mm-hmm.
which is great for those, quick snaps and videos.
Makes it so much easier.
And of course, we have to talk about the specs. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the iPhone 16 Pro has a triple camera system
Yeah.
with a 48 megapixel main sensor,
Uh-huh.
a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and a 5x optical zoom telephoto lens.
Wow.
You can capture some pretty amazing images with this thing.
Incredible detail.
Yeah, no matter what you're shooting, landscapes, portraits, even distant subjects.
It's like having a professional camera in your pocket.
Right, and the video capabilities are amazing too.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
There's this new fusion capture mode that records super smooth action.
I saw that.
It's up to 4K resolution with 120 frames per second frame rate.
I mean, that's professional level stuff.
It's pretty incredible. And with that A18 Pro chip handling all the processing, you can edit and share those videos really seamlessly.
Yeah, it's like a mobile film studio.
Now let's talk about the software side of things.
Okay.
The iPhone 16 Pro comes with iOS 18 pre-installed, which is Apple's latest mobile operating system.
Right.
But the really interesting stuff, these AI features that they're calling Apple Intelligence, they're coming later as a software update.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
So it's like they're saving the best for last?
It's like they're keeping us in suspense.
Yeah, what are these Apple Intelligence features going to be like? How are they going to change the way we interact with our phones?
I know. It's a little mysterious.
It's exciting.
It is. I mean, imagine a phone that can learn your habits and anticipate your needs and help you get things done even more efficiently.
Like a personal assistant in your pocket.
Right. I mean, it's a very tantalizing thought. I mean, how will AI shape the future of the iPhone experience?
That's a big question.
It is a big question. And what will it mean for us as users?
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to explore further for sure. But I think for now, it's probably a good idea to just take a step back and kind of digest all this information about the iPhone 16 Pro.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
It's clearly a really powerful and innovative device.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they've packed a ton of cutting-edge technology into this phone.
Yeah, they really have. So much tech in one little package.
Right, so the big question is, is it worth the upgrade? The review calls it a better Pro for pros only. It seems like maybe it might be overkill for the average user.
It depends. I mean, if you really push your phone to its limits, if you're editing videos, running demanding apps, multitasking all the time, then yeah, the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be amazing.
But if you're mostly just browsing the web and checking social media and taking the occasional photo, maybe the standard iPhone 16 is a better fit.
Yeah.
You're going to save some money and still have a great experience.
Yeah, and then there's the Pro Max, that's still the king of screen size and battery life.
Oh, for sure.
So if those are your top priorities, the Pro Max is still a good option.
So it sounds like Apple has a phone for everyone this year.
They really do.
So how do you decide which one is right for you?
Well, I think it comes down to a few key questions,
What are those?
What do you use your phone for most? What's your budget? And what features are must-haves for you?
Okay, that makes sense. So let's say you've narrowed it down to the Pro models. How do you choose between the Pro and the Pro Max?
Think about how important size and battery life are to you.
Okay.
The Pro Max is bigger and heavier.
Yeah.
But it has that amazing battery life, 2 days on a single charge.
Right.
The Pro is smaller and lighter, but you'll probably have to charge it more often.
It's kind of like choosing between a powerful desktop computer
Yeah.
and a sleek Ultrabook. Each one has its pros and cons.
That's a good analogy.
And the best choice depends on your needs.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to think about the ecosystem,
Oh, right.
Are you invested in Apple's ecosystem? Do you use other Apple devices like a Mac or an iPad or an Apple Watch?
Yeah, if you're already deep in Apple's world, it makes sense to stay there.
It just makes things easier.
Right. So it's all about finding the right balance. Power, portability, affordability, ecosystem integration.
Exactly. You got to weigh all the factors.
Right. Well, before we get too lost in the decision-making process, let's recap what we've learned about the iPhone 16 Pro.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we talked about how it's basically a Pro Max in a smaller package.
Right, all the power.
Right, all the same features, but more compact and easier to manage.
And that's a big trend, more power in smaller devices.
We also talked about the design changes, the slightly larger body, the return of the action button, that new camera control key.
All those little tweaks that make a big difference.
Yeah, they make it more user-friendly, more convenient. And then there's that amazing display.
Oh, yeah.
6.3 inches with promotion technology.
So smooth.
Everything looks incredible, and it's so responsive.
Makes using the phone a joy.
Oh, and we can't forget about the A18 Pro chip.
Oh, yeah, that thing is a beast.
It can handle anything you throw at it.
Makes the phone super fast and responsive.
And it means your phone will stay fast for years to come.
Exactly. It's future-proof.
We also talked about the battery life, which is much better than the 15 Pro.
Right.
Not quite as good as the Pro Max, but still impressive.
Especially for such a powerful phone.
And the camera.
Oh my gosh, the camera.
That triple camera system is top of the line.
You can take amazing photos and videos with that thing.
And then there's the software. iOS 18 is pre-installed,
Hmm.
but those Apple Intelligence features are coming later.
That's going to be interesting.
It is. It makes you wonder how AI is going to change the iPhone experience.
That's a big question.
It is. But amidst all this talk about specs and features,
Yeah.
I think it's important to take a step back and think about the bigger picture.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, all these incredible advancements in smartphone technology,
Hmm.
it makes you wonder, how will this impact our reliance on other devices?
Like laptops and tablets.
Exactly. With smartphones becoming so powerful and versatile,
Right.
will we even need those other devices in the future?
Or will they evolve?
Right.
Will we see some kind of convergence where the lines between smartphones and laptops and tablets become blurred?
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure, but it's exciting to think about.
It really is. The future of personal computing is unfolding right before our eyes.
Uh, it really does
Yeah.
feel like we're on the edge of something big.
Hmm.
Maybe our smartphones will be powerful enough to handle everything we do on laptops and tablets.
Right. Or maybe those other devices will evolve too. Maybe they'll become more like companions to our smartphones.
Yeah, maybe we'll see some kind of hybrid device,
Yeah.
something that combines the best of both worlds.
It's hard to say for sure, but one thing's for certain, the lines are definitely blurring, you know?
For sure, smartphones are becoming more like computers, and computers are becoming more portable and adaptable.
It's a really exciting time to be following all this.
It is,
Yeah.
it is. But it does raise some interesting questions.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Well, how will all these changes affect the way we work and learn and connect with each other?
Right. And what about our digital lives? Will we become even more dependent on our devices?
Or will we find ways to use technology in a more balanced and meaningful way?
Those are big questions.
They are, and I don't think there are any easy answers.
Yeah, yet, anyway.
Right. But I think it's important to at least start asking these questions
I agree.
because ultimately the future of technology is up to us. You know,
That's a good point.
we get to decide how we want to use these tools and how we want to shape the digital world.
We have more power than we realize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you're thinking about the iPhone 16 Pro and all the amazing things it can do, just remember to keep those bigger questions in mind. How will this device fit into your life?
Right.
And how might it shape the future of technology itself?
Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is how we use technology to improve our lives.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of the iPhone 16 Pro.
It really has.
We've uncovered a lot of exciting new features and explored some thought-provoking questions about the future of technology.
And as always, it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise. So until next time, deep divers keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And if you have any topics you'd like us to deep dive into, let us know.
We're always looking for new adventures.